audience. We're going to watch the LA riots. Let's see what's going on.
This is actually from Tuesday from Storyful, and it is out of Los Angeles. As you can see, some of the protests that took place. We do know in LA and in some other cities, those protests did turn to full-fledged riots. You saw vehicles that were set on fire, as well as officers injured, people being shot with rubber bullets. A lot going on there. Now, hours after a federal judge ruled that President Trump's deployment of the California National Guard in LA was unconstitutional, an appeals court temporarily blocked that ruling. That happening just hours ago. National Guard troops have been in Los Angeles for a week after anti-ICE protests again and riots. Another hearing on the issue scheduled for next week. Now, the San Francisco federal judge, Charles Breyer, made the initial ruling Thursday. In his ruling, Breyer said that Trump overstepped his power and violated the 10th Amendment by calling in the National Guard without Newsom's consent. The order required Trump to hand control of the troops back to Newsom by noon today. The Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals temporarily blocked Breyer's order late last night. Now, again, there is so much to discuss here, a lot of different elements and nuances. So let's bring in John Deaton, retired Marine officer and judge advocate and former Senate candidate. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us here and discuss all of this, because as I mentioned, there is a lot to it.
There sure is. Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, first off, I do want to ask you, because as we see peaceful protests and we also see some of that kind of develop into riots, how...
Back up! Back up! Back up! Keep pushing! Back up! Back it up! Back up! Let's go! We're doing the back up! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Move! Move! Let's go! Let's go! We're up the stairs! We're making it peaceful! You guys act peaceful as well! You guys act peaceful as well! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go back! Let's go back!
Mexican flag mixed in with the American flag.
Back it up! Back it up! If you guys want peaceful, make it peaceful with us too! If you guys want peace, peace it up! You guys...
You know, the Mexican flags, there is a Mexican flag mixed with the American flag. The flag that they fly is a flag that they never want to go back to their home, but then they burn the flag of the country they want to stay in. Figure that one out. They never want to go back to Mexico, but yet they're flying the Mexican flag as if they took over LA.
once launched.
By the NYPD to keep them on the sidewalks and to prevent them from.
So as the protests in LA get national media attention, activists here in New York are just getting started. And they're now flooding the streets of America's largest sanctuary city, overwhelming police on a nightly basis. However, the mayor of New York has said he will not tolerate violent activism or attacks on law enforcement. But to agitators here, that sounds more like a challenge than a threat.
This was the chaos that erupted last night. 86 arrests. And federal agents overnight deploying tear gas into a crowd. The NYPD says it had the situation under control.
Demonstrators were armed with signs, face coverings, and flags. Some were led away to NYPD buses in zip ties, while others were wrestled to the ground by cops dressed in riot gear.
We are not afraid, and we will not be bullied. And you can't lock us all up.
And on top of that, which is even more disgraceful and disgusting, top NYPD officials are playing golf with Donald Trump.
At times, protesters were clashing with police, but during the day, those protests were mostly peaceful. Police called a level 3 mobilization at some point after 9 p.m. And the protests broke up after midnight, and we're told most of those protesters will be processed and released.
And while last night's rally appeared to be larger than other recent protests, New York hasn't seen the same level of chaos as Los Angeles, at least not yet.
People are disgraceful. They're totally disgraceful. They're dumb, they're idiots, and they're on the wrong side of history. Donald Trump is doing the best he can to bring back our country. You remember Joe Biden with the open border, letting in 20 million illegal immigrants? If you like this video, like and subscribe and follow. All right, thank you guys.